All right. What is going on, people? Welcome on back to another brand new episode of the Cinema Lords podcast, episode number 25. And it's a big week here at the show. We are fresh off of opening weekend for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which are virtually my favorite heroes in the MCU now that Steve Rogers is gone. But this was kind of their swan song. This is supposed to kind of be the ending of this story. James Gunn is obviously off to DC. And Dave Bautista, who plays Drax, has kind of voiced how this is going to be the last time he's going to be doing this role. So this was kind of, the ending of their story. So it was a big movie. I was very excited for it. The three of us all went and checked it out on opening night. So we're going to be definitely talking about that a lot. We're going to save that for the end, though. We have a lot to get into before that. We're going to be talking about some new trailers. We're going to be talking about a couple of new shows I'm going to be recommending for you guys that I'm watching right now that I'm really enjoying, that I think you guys should also go and check out. Probably going to discuss those, in the weeks coming up, too. We also going to talk about Yellowjackets and a couple of other things as well. So we got a lot to dive into, as always. Before we start shifting through topics, let's introduce the stars of tonight's show. First up on the ones and twos, fresh off a work injury, you got to honor the commitment.
Battling.
The guy's battling through it all. I respect it. The human sound boy, Mr. Kalos.
I'm fighting through.
What's going on, bud? So what happened?
I don't know. It happened all so fast. My life flashed across my eyes. Fucked up my finger. I have a tough time clicking these buttons today, but I'm going to power through for you guys,
I love it. Yeah, we had a little bit of a scare. You texted me that your finger was dangling off. I was nervous for you. I was telling you, go get that thing stitched up. But I'm glad that you're all right. Glad that we were, I love it. Like I said, I love the commitment. You know what I mean? I respect it. And then our co-host this evening, he is the maestro of Middle Earth. First time he's been back in a little bit. Mr. Ledoux, what's going on, Adam?
What's going on? Good to be back. Has been a little bit.
It's good
Got some catching up to do.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks, especially now that we shifted to, every 2 to 3 weeks.
I know.
Been a grip.
That's it.
But I think we might start cranking up the shows a little bit more come the summer because there's a lot of movies coming out, you know what I mean? So a lot of movie reviews. A couple of shows coming out, too, so we're going to be doing a lot of kind of like reviews and stuff. So it might be banging, maybe one out every other week, something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, a lot of things to get into. First things first, I think we should talk about the biggest story right now going on in Hollywood, which is the writer's strike. On May 1st, which is, I think, exactly a week ago today, I believe, the Writers Guild went on strike. First time since 2007. It lasted for 100 days back then. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably remember that it fucked up a lot of shit. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, I was a big Friday Night Lights guy. I don't know if you were. But
I know you were big for,
loved Friday Night Lights.
Yep. I think I saw a couple episodes.
Second season just never finished. Just never, no ending to it. Just ends like probably 6 or 7 episodes short of what it should have been.
Yikes.
But Heroes, Prison Break, Lost. We lost entire seasons of The Office and Family Guy. Those were the Stephen Carell years of The Office too when the show was banging.
Didn't know that either.
Yep. Wow. Just lost entire seasons. And it wasn't just TV. It hit the movie theater as well. A bunch of shit movies. It was Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah,
crap.
We were talking about this the other day.
X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Total crap. 007, Quantum of Solace. So bad, I haven't seen a James Bond movie since.
Wow.
Terminator Salvation, and then G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. Just some total dog shit from, major universes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got me a little worried about some stuff I was looking forward to.
Yeah, for real. And it's not like they literally, from what I've read, they're asking for a 2% raise, which to me seems totally reasonable. And of course, in perfect fashion, they were just releasing all of the numbers of like the different CEO execs across, Disney, National Discovery, all that kind of shit. And of course, I wrote some of them down, but the two guys at Disney, 46 and 32.5 million last year. The two guys from Netflix, 40 and 38 million dollars last year. The guy from Discovery, $246 million last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're telling me
2% doesn't seem that crazy.
Exactly, right. And obviously, like the guys that are writing, or the guys and girls, I should say, that are writing for the top shows, they're obviously getting paid well. You know what I mean? The guys that are writing, the Duffner Brothers were doing Stranger Things and shit like that. You know that they're getting paid well.
Well taken care of.
But these people that are also writing, on like fucking the CW shows, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On like your basic cable crap.
It's classics.
They're getting, completely scrounged. Can't even some of them they're saying they can't even fucking pay their rent and shit. So it's kind of just like, that's why they're in a union, you know what I mean? That's why they all got to bear together. But
they can't pay their rent because they live in L.A. and they're paying $8,000 a month for a fucking studio apartment.
Cost of living definitely higher, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you're saying 2%, that just doesn't seem like a big thing to me.
It doesn't. I wasn't totally aware. I saw that, they went on strike, and I was like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, no.
and then you brought it up, and I was like, oh, all right. I should be worried about this.
Yeah. We already seen a little bit of the fallout. One show that we've actually been talking about that I'm a big fan of is Yellowjackets. Season 2 is on right now. They said that for season 3, the writers were working for one day. And they were loved the energy. Things were already flowing. And then this happened. And it's just we'll see you guys whenever we see you guys. Stranger Things has completely stopped production.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming 2024. Depending on how long this strike lasts, we might not see Stranger Things for a while.
Do we know where they were in filming, or?
I think that filming had just started, I think it was maybe in March, I want to say.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of stuff.
It was right after the winter, so I want to say March. So it's probably only been maybe a month or 2 months tops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So still a lot to be done then. Basically.
For sure. That's one of the biggest ones. I also saw Rings of Power, which is in the middle of filming season 2.
This was one of the ones I was more afraid of.
They are going to be powering through without their writers.
Dedication.
They only have 19 days left. So that was actually as of 5 or 6 days ago too. So now they're probably at 2 weeks or maybe 13 days.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see with 19 days left, I guess, where are you at in the movie process, basically.
Right. With how big the budget is, I think that Amazon's pouring so much into this, I don't think they want to shelf it with only 2 weeks left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you think they just pony up and pay, or?
I think they're just going to, like I said, they have the directors that are there, and it's basically just the directors and the actual crew. All the writers and all the producers aren't going to be there, and they're just going to power through. They said the last, 19 days of filming. So that makes me a little worried. Yeah,
you know especially that show in particular. You know,
and I was seeing something that was I think it was only 35 or maybe 40% of people that started Rings of Power finished the series.
That scares me a little too.
And I was that's crazy to me because we were talking about how we liked Rings of Power better than the first season of House of the Dragon.
I did.
You know what I mean?
I think that had a little bit to do with it was just something new too. You know what I mean? I think if you're looking at how the shows,
I guess we did the Hobbit series, but those sucked.
Yeah, those forgetful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that sort of something new. I could understand some people who weren't Lord of the Rings fans before starting the show and being all right, I'm not really too sure what's going on here,
Yeah,
so that would make sense to me.
Lord of the Rings, I don't think you're gonna like.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's a little scary. Dune 2's coming out. They're already wrapped though. They're done, right?
That's all
We're
done.
good.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking some Dune 2 for sure coming up. But this is a scary thing. Like I said, last time it lasted 100 days. I think it was 2000, so that was 2007. I think it was 2012. They were as close to going on another one, and they ended up kind of getting. I think it was the very last day. They ended up coming to a deal and stuff. But hopefully they can get through this one soon because, like I said, a lot of these shows, man, I want to see get finished. Cobra Kai Lost, actually, that was another one. Cobra Kai production halted. I think they were saying, yes, that's another one slated for 2024. So who knows if that if it takes too long. 2025 is a long time to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. That's
get back to work, you hippies.
But fucking bums me out. Obviously, I'm on team writers, but I just hope things change. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, let's hope they work it out, and we get Stranger Things Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
I think of all time. So
it's unbelievable. And if you wait too long, it's people are already complaining about the way the kids have aged now, and it's just you take not a couple of years off. These kids are gonna be fucking 20-something years old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't bother me either. I can totally look past it.
Yeah,
I don't really
so it doesn't affect me actually in the slightest. So screw those people.
Especially, I love. There was a bunch of people fucking just sharing old videos. I don't even know if they were personal videos, but it's just straight camcorder shit from the 80s and 90s, and just look at these kids in this school. They looked like they were 30 back then.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all just bigger muscles, and they all look like they're ripping fucking packs of butts a day and shit. So it's just this is it's kind of hits them, Yeah, Billy from Stranger Things. Everyone,
perfect.
Wicked old. It's
perfect role.
No man,
perfectly casted there.
Yeah. He's fucking such a scumbag.
Fit the role.
Yeah, he was good. But hopefully we get the writers settled quickly. From there, let's shift to. We haven't done recommendations in a while, so we're actually going to be doing that tonight. A couple of shows that I've been watching that are on right now. I got 3 of them. I'm really enjoying all 3 of them, and they're very different. The first one I think you would be a very big fan of, which is Citadel on Amazon Prime. Comes on Thursdays. Been 3 episodes so far. You got the Young Wolf. Actually, the Young Wolf, Rich Madden. He's the lead. It's also got Stanley Tucci, who's from like The Gentleman, The Hunger Games. He's got a lot of roles in a lot of shit. If you saw him, bald guy, glasses, you'd recognize him.
I think I've seen this advertised a couple times.
Yeah, very like super spy, like James Bond, Triple X, Mission Impossible, like that kind of shit. He's got all the gadgets and all that kind of shit.
Yep.
So it's very, very cool like that. A lot of cool action scenes.
Check that out.
Stuff.
Check that out. Amazon, you said?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Citadel is basically like it's like a spy organization, but they're not like aligned with any country.
Okay.
They're aligned, so they say like to the people.
Okay.
And basically, like they get like attacked in the very beginning. They basically get attacked. You don't know who attacked them, but they have like an emergency protocol. And it wipes all of their agents' memories so that they can't basically like rat or give up information if they were to get captured.
Okay.
So you follow Richard Madden's character. Like right after that, it skips. I think it's like 8 years. And
Okay.
You're following him. He's got a whole new life now and shit. And he obviously gets brought back into things.
Okay.
But,
All right. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I think you'd
Check
like
it
that
out.
one. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like
especially
it's right up
if you're
my
into-
alley. So
yeah, good action shit. It's good. So definitely check that one out. Like I said, Thursdays, Amazon, definitely a good time. The next one I'm really enjoying is also on Thursdays. It is Love and Death on HBO Max, which this one I know Los has been watching with me. He's, I think, been enjoying it too. 4 episodes so far. You get Elizabeth Olsen, Jesse Plemons. You also got Lily Rabe, who a lot of people would know from American Horror Story, and then Kristen Ritter as well, which a lot of people know. Jessica Jones, Breaking Bad. She's also in a movie that I love, which is She's Out of My League. Love that movie. That's a funny one. But really good cast. Based on a true story. Basically, Elizabeth Olsen's like a little housewife. She's bored as shit. She asked Jesse Plemons to have an affair. And basically things just kind of like spiral from there, basically.
Oh, I've seen this one advertised too. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They did a Hulu, like the same thing. It's just like a miniseries.
Okay.
They did a Hulu one. It was literally just last year. And I think it was called Candy, which is Elizabeth Olsen's character name. But it had a good cast too. It was like Jessica Biel, Linsky, actually, Melanie Linsky, the same girl from Yellowjackets, Rose.
So they like rip it off, or is this just like a?
I think they were just like 2 different networks. I think they just had the same. It was probably a popular story. They decided to basically adapt it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a true story.
yeah, based on a true story. I think it was in the late 70s. I want to say, or late 70s or early 80s.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess they just started both adapting it at the exact same time. Just kind of a weird coincidence. That shit happens sometimes, though.
Yeah.
There's been a few, even like in the box office, there's been a couple times where movie like these same
movies come out same time.
No Strings Attached and Just Friends is the one that I always comes to mind for me.
Yep.
Which is weird because Ashton Kutcher's in one and then Mila Kunis is in the
This
other.
is in the other.
Yeah. But Lewis, you've been checking this one out. What do you think of this one? You enjoying this one?
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Elizabeth Olsen's an absolute lunatic, which I appreciate. Makes for entertaining television.
She's doing a great job.
I just gotta say, Jesse Plemons is one ugly dude. But you know, somehow he's still out there getting ass. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I give him credit.
Funny.
Hey, he gives guys like me like hope. You know,
Dude, as far as like Hollywood standards go, he might be like one of the ugliest guys in Hollywood. He is a gross looking human being. Good actor though. Good actor. But yeah, this one's very like you said, Elizabeth Olsen, super creepy in this. But the vibe, I like the whole vibe of it. The whole time, it's just like shit's gonna happen, just a matter of when and how bad it's gonna be.
All right.
But it's good. I'm very much enjoying that one. That one's 4 episodes in. That one's just a mini series, like I said. I think the Citadel actually. I think Amazon already said. I think they already picked it up for a season 2.
Season 2.
Pretty sure.
All right.
And then the third one is a show that is on the 2nd season right now. Los was actually the one that kind of convinced me to get back into it because I had started season 1, but I fell off. It is called From, which is a terrible name, but it's on MGM, which used to be Epix. Which most people, if you have Comcast, you usually have Epix, which is, like I said, now MGM. Sundays. The first season was like 10 episodes long. Started slow, which is kind of why I ended up falling off. Like the premise was cool, but the first few episodes kind of lost me. He kept watching it. We saw that a 2nd season was coming out. And he was like, dude, the ending was pretty good. Like, why don't you check it out? So I picked up from where I left off. And the end of season 1 definitely picked up. And season 2's been good so far. But it's pretty interesting. Very Stephen King vibes. Basically, like, there's all these people that kind of like in this town. And they're trying to escape because basically there's like some kind of a force that's keeping them in the town. Every time that they try to like leave, they basically get brought right back into the center. So like they can't, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they don't know exactly like where they are or how they got here, kind of a thing.
So some
Lost vibes too, sort of.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But definitely, I'm glad I got back into it because, like I said, I'm enjoying it. But Los, what do you? I know you're, like I said, you're the biggest fan of this show.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. It's not like amazing, but I'm into it. I like the premise of the show, and
Premise is very cool.
yeah, and it's just got a nice mix of like that spooky horror theme, but then it's also like a mystery. You don't really know what's going on, so that keeps me intrigued. And then just the dynamics between the different characters themselves was pretty good as well. So
Yeah.
I feel like it hits on a few different factors.
I think most of the acting in the show is pretty good, but there's not really like anybody too much of name. Actually, I said Lost, but one of the guys from Lost is in it. Harold's Perrineau, I think it is. Yeah. He was in Lost, but other than that, even I don't really know. Oh, he was in Oz too. I don't know if you guys ever saw that on HBO. That's a good one. That's like one of the like original HBO ones. You know what I mean? That one's from like the late '90s, probably like '98. That one's good. It's
So
like a prison
Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, sort of.
It's a good one, and it's still like it still holds up. I would say pretty good because I remember watching it maybe like 10 years ago, and it was good then. So I'm sure it probably still holds up. But yeah, like I said, cast no one special, but I feel like pretty much all the acting's pretty good. The daughter is a little bit sometimes, but she's really the only one that really stands out to me.
The thing you said too, though, it starts off a little slow. definitely the case in this situation, because I had the same thought when that show first started coming out. It was very slow, and I was hesitant to keep going, but I was glad that I did, because it definitely picks up towards the end of the first season.
I'm glad that you did too, because I would never have dove back in if you hadn't, have kind of convinced me to. But like you said, the ending to season 1 was good. There was a couple of really good. I think it was episode 8 there. That one was that was a wild one. That was probably the best one. That was a banger. When all the he opens the window.
Yeah.
That one was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Yeah. So it's not just like invisible forces like that's just like keeping them in. There's also like more right in your face forces too. I don't want to give too much away, but
All right.
if you're into like Stephen King kind of shit, like I said, this one would be up your alley too.
Like a little bit of a thriller.
Yeah, for sure. A little spooky, a little creepy. Like you said, though, also mysterious. So you're trying to, like I said, they don't know how they got here or why they got here. Like, they're like, are we dead? Are we, like, in purgatory? Are we fucking in a pocket universe? You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. You know what I mean? Definitely got me intrigued.
Yeah, I like something that makes you think a little,
Yeah, for sure. Sunday nights, too. I've always said Sunday night TV is, like, the best night, in my opinion, for television. People are always looking for something to
something to sit down
on,
in the
you know
week,
what I mean? So I love Sunday nights. So those three, all that, like I said, Citadel, Amazon, Love and Death, HBO, and then from MGM Plus, which is now Epix. But like I said, most people, if you have Xfinity, you're gonna have that because I think it's like right in like the basic Xfinity plan. So go check those out. From there, let's go to Yellowjackets. I know you haven't been watching this one, right?
I have not.
All right, so me and Los can dive into this one for a few minutes. Episodes 5 and 6, season 2. Episode 5, I guess we'll start there. We'll kind of go one and then the other. Episode 5 I thought was awesome. I thought it was very, very, very good. Definitely one of my favorite episodes, not just of the season, but probably of the series. A lot of shit fucking went down in this one. Like, a lot of shit. We got a real introduction to Laura Ambrose's character, which is adult Vanessa, but she's awesome. She's from, like, The Servant and Midnight Mass. She's super creepy. Different role for her in this, no, Los? Compared to, like, The Servant and Midnight Mass, but she's, like, super creepy in those. This one, she's almost like a hippie.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I mean? The little shop that she works in, I think it's a terrible business plan, but I do like it personally for me. She literally runs like, it basically almost is like a Blockbuster. It's like a little hippie fucking Blockbuster. She rents out VHSs. She also rents out like a VHS player if you need.
Right.
Yeah, super fucking vintagey. Like, I mean, not many people I can imagine.
I've heard this show is pretty good.
Oh, it's good. It's definitely good. This second season hasn't been as strong as season 1. There's been like some episodes that have been really strong.
Okay.
But overall, I would say season 1's been a little bit better.
They like crash, right? It's like a little bit of Lord of the Flies thing going on.
Yeah, definitely some Lord of the Flies vibes. It's like that, and then remember that it was a true story there about the was it Uruguayan or Paraguayan, the soccer team that crashed like in the mountains. And eventually they ended up having to like turn to cannibalism. And, like,
yes. Okay, I do remember that.
It's like that. Which actually that also happens in Lord of the Flies too.
Okay.
It's kind of like that shit. You know what I mean? Kind of meshed together. But that was very creepy. Another thing that happened, like once we kind of got meeting this older Vanessa character, I didn't even think that she was. I thought she was gonna be one of the ones that died because it had been so long into the show without seeing an adult version of her. But that fucking scene with her and Ty was pretty creepy. Ty like wakes up, she falls asleep, and like when she wakes up, she's like the demonic version of her. That was pretty fucking creepy. She's even like, if he was like, you the other one, she's like, yeah, we're not supposed to be. And she kisses her, which is a wild move. I didn't know like what that was kind of about. Is she attracted to her too? I don't know. But that shit was all good. Obviously, the best part of the episode, fucking Misty and Crystal, they're going back and forth. Which, look, you had to have like seen where this was going, right? When they were going back and forth with their secrets.
Yeah.
Like, you just know, it's like they just keep getting, they're almost trying to one up each other with like who can tell the deeper, darker secret.
Yeah, Missy's a moron.
Dude, because I like her character. As this was happening, I was literally like, "No, Misty, like, don't fucking say it." Sure enough, she drops the bomb.
She's like, "Oh, I got one for you," like, and then the other girls just sitting there like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, literally, like the whole reason that we're basically stuck here still is entirely because of you. And then obviously, Misty's trying to just threaten her. I don't know if she was actually going to make... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she would have actually killed her herself, but then the girl fucking obviously like just goes falling.
Oh, I thought for certain that she was going to push her right
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like,
but she didn't even have to. The girl fell off, not even realizing what she was backing up.
No, that shit was wild though. And dude, it worked out perfectly for her as far as getting away with it, because right as basically like the girl falls off the cliff, the blizzard starts like coming on in. So snow starts hitting like crazy, which is a nice little way to be like, oh, I lost her. And then on top of that, Shauna fucking finally starts having her baby. So chaos basically breaks loose in the cabin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's even thinking about that anymore.
Exactly, yeah. So she's definitely gonna be able to get away with this, I feel like, pretty scot clean. We also had an interesting, so adult Shauna, her and her daughter, that was interesting too. They basically figure out that, you know, who the cop is. They figure out his real identity. And they try to set him up there to fucking make it look like Shauna is banging her husband's best friend. The cops aren't buying it though. When they go into the hotel room, he fucking starts literally sniffing the condom. I was like, dude, too far. If I was a cop and I was like pretty sure that they were doing something wrong, once I saw that condom, that would have been enough for me. I would not have picked it up and started sniffing
or
the condom.
get it actually analyzed in a lab.
Good point.
What are we talking about?
Get it,
He just picks up the fucking condom and he's just giving it a fucking whiff. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it was gross. Which of course he ended up getting lucky and ended up being like hand soap.
It's a little over the top.
Yeah,
a little over the top.
Which I'm not gonna lie. I was saying I think I just watched that episode with just Steph. But basically, she asked this guy to like masturbate into a condom to make it look like they had sex, and I was like, right away, I was just like, masturbating into a condom sounds awful.
It does.
I was like, that just sounds like a nightmare.
It does.
Does not sound like a good time at all. And sure enough, the guy can't fucking get the job done. Fills it up with fucking soap, and ends up busting.
Soap.
Yeah. Now they obviously know that they're lying and they're hiding something.
I think it was hand lotion. Hand lotion was what it was.
Hand lotion?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
I was gonna say soap.
Yeah.
I mean, either one.
It
Still, no
like
wonder you smelled it. It smells
Yeah.
like strawberries. Oh man, I might be out on Yellowjackets. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a weird scene, but I thought it was fucking funny. That cop's a weirdo, man. He's just, that mustache of his, it's just such a bad mustache. He's almost got like an Adolf stash. Like it's just longer than an Adolf stash. You know what I mean? Like barely. I had a way better mustache this summer. That's for damn sure. But that was strong fucking stash bros, baby. Don't forget. Strong episode though.
True.
Fucking Misty showed up at the compound too, so her and Nat are both there, and we're gonna see in episode 6 that it's gonna be a team reunion soon. You know, she's just the second one to show up, but everyone's gonna be fucking coming on down soon. And then the ending of this episode was obviously pretty cool. Like I said, Shauna starts going into pregnancy, but they fucking pull out the "Mother, won't you come my way?" Fucking Danzig, good fucking song. Is like chaos just breaking loose. All the girls are screaming, and that just fucking hits in. It's right at the end of the episode, and you know, like the next one's obviously gonna pick up with her giving birth, and it's gonna be fucking chaotic. Because obviously they're in the middle of the wilderness, they ain't got shit. They got nothing. So, good, strong episode. I thought from episode 5. Los thoughts, episode 5 overall.
Yeah, episode 5 was pretty good. Solid episode, all around entertaining.
Pretty creepy. Definitely some creepy vibes. Liked it. Also, that there was the scene where Lottie kind of puts her under like hypnosis, and she goes back to her last time she saw Travis. She like ODs and shit, and she like goes back to the plane crash, but everyone's dead. She sees all like the burnt bodies and shit like that. Definitely an intense episode. Which brings us to episode 6, which I guess in a way was also very intense, but in a pretty gross fashion. Didn't love episode 6. What did you think?
I didn't hate it. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was pretty gross. But
Bigger fan of 5 or 6?
Yeah, 5 was better for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
6 was just a lot, man. Obviously, like I said, we knew we were going to open up with the birthing scene with Shauna, but it was intense. It wasn't quite on the level of House of the Dragon, but it wasn't like that far off. but it just lasted for so long. Like they kept they would tell, so you tell a lot of parts of the story at once. So even like when they left it, it wasn't like the scene was over. Like they would go show a couple of other things, and then they would come back.
Oh man!
And it was just like a lot of screaming and pains and agony, a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's tough. House of Dragon was tough to sit through.
Yeah,
it was like
exactly.
Let this be over, please.
I kept waiting for this to be over, but it just kind of kept going on. It was fucking. It was just. I don't know. It was a lot. There was a lot of chaos just going on too. Like Misty, obviously, she's like still going through shit because she kind of just helped this girl. Basically, she didn't push her off the edge, but she assisted in the death of this girl. She's gonna get away with it. Now she's expected to basically be like the head nurse in the middle of the wilderness, giving birth to a baby when she's like, a 16-year-old girl. So she's like starts bugging out. She has to tap out for a second. She ends up coming back in, commanding things. It makes it look like she gets the baby out all healthy and shit like that. But right away, I kind of got the vibe that I was like, is this real or is this a dream? I don't know if you did too, but right away I was kind of getting that vibe.
I was clueless.
So right away that was my vibe. But then once they come back to her after a couple of scenes and she's like trying to feed the baby and all that shit, I was like, oh, all right, this is clearly all real. I was like, and then they do a couple more scenes. Like the baby's refusing to eat. Like he won't suck at her tit or whatever because that's all they have. They got no baby milk. She's got to use the mom's milk. She refuses. Then that one time she wakes up in the middle of the night and Lottie's doing it, which was fucking weird because I was just like, she ain't a mom. Like, how the hell is she doing this shit?
Yeah, then that's actually one of the first times I was like, huh? I was like, this don't make no sense. But
yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me because Lottie's gotten all these weird powers from the wilderness and shit. So I was like, I don't even know
powers. The show sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about not like powers like fucking like Gandalf's got powers,
right?
But like, I don't know. She's just got like a sense to things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And also, what I forgot about is while this girl's having while this girl, like we said, the birth was very bloody and shit. The part that was crazy is, things are looking real bad for her. Travis goes to the wall, grabs that skull off the wall, cuts his hand open, starts like sacrificing his blood. What was funny about that too is, so all the other girls start sacrificing things too. I see one girl like cut some hair off. I'm like, that's not quite blood. Then some other girl like literally was just throwing in like garbage. It was one girl threw in a button. A button. That was her sacrifice. I was like, Jesus Christ. Travis like gouges his hand open with a knife, and you gave a button? I think the wilderness gods aren't gonna accept that one, but all right, whatever. But that shit was funky. They were all started like chanting and shit, which we're getting closer and closer to a lot more of that kind of shit. We got a couple of hints of that season 1. We're getting closer and closer to things getting really off the handles, I think. But like I said, the baby's refusing to eat. So like I said, all right, I guess this isn't a dream anymore. The Lottie scene's weird. And then shit gets really, really, really fucking weird for a second, which this was actually part of the episode that I thought was like wild. She wakes up again in the middle of the night, only this time the baby's gone, not in the room with Lottie. She goes downstairs, and all the girls are fucking eating the baby just like they did a few episodes ago. Just fucking ripping this thing apart, going to town on it. Nasty. Which is when she finally wakes up. Turns out it is all a dream, but it's her dream, and she starts like freaking out. So she thought her baby was like real. She's like fucking asking all about it. She's going nuts. Turns out the baby died during birth. She's fucking traumatized. Obviously, that must be fucking tough. But it was a wild ride for her this episode. Aside from that, though, the only other thing that really happened, because that was my other complaint, I guess, was that I felt like it didn't move the overall story along too much. Basically, everybody else just also got to the compound. A little game of telephone. So like we said, Misty already arrived in episode 5. She called Ty. She's with Vanessa. So the both of them headed over there. Then Ty calls Shauna. So now basically the whole team is at the goddamn compound. So that's obviously going to be a big thing for this week, I'd imagine. All the girls. I think that might have been Lottie's plan all along. She might have fucking, you know what I'm saying? She might have tried to do orchestrated all this to lure them all there. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not surprised at anything with this show because I have no clue what the fuck's going on from week to week. But I keep watching.
It's a wild ride. It's a wild
ride.
There was also a cool closeout scene. Once all the girls arrive at the compound, they kind of do like one of those aerial shots overhead to show the whole like compound, and you can see that the entire place is basically set up in the same like triangle design that they have been carving, that had been carved into all the trees back when they were in the wilderness. Basically, this probably like the wilderness gods, almost like his little logo, basically.
Yeah, I did actually notice that too at the end of the episode.
That was very cool
when it pans out. And,
yeah. Because obviously Lottie's definitely, like I said, I think she's been almost like feeding this thing the whole time since they've been back.
Probably.
But I think now it's hungrier for like almost something more. You know what I mean? But
it was wild.
Yeah, no, it's a wild show. Like I said, episode 6 was just not my favorite. Episode 5, really loved. Season 2 overall, still very good. Not quite as good as season 1. But we got 4 episodes left. You know what I mean? 4 episodes left. I hope it ends really good. You could end with a bang. You know what I mean? Like we said, we got all the girls together. I feel like things are really picking up back in the past. So I think things are gonna escalate to a nice conclusion here.
Yeah, they want to pull me back in for season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say season 3 then coming out.
Season 3 is coming out, but like I said, actually at the top, they fucking went to the writing room for one day.
Yeah,
before the writer's strike. So same thing. That's another one that's
not looking good, Lois.
Yeah. And that's another one kind of along the same thing as Stranger Things, whereas a lot of the cast are teenagers in high school, and if you keep,
if you push it off, then it's going to start getting a little...
Exactly. They're going to be fucking, again...
I mean, Stranger Things makes... Well, I guess this would make sense, too. I haven't watched the show, but Stranger Things doesn't bother me because, like, obviously they're just getting older. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's
true.
like, it's like...
Yeah, no, that's true. They're in the wilderness. I think they say that, like, right off the top. I think it's, like, 19 months they spent out there.
Okay.
It's a long time. So it's, like, a year and a half, basically. So, yeah, they're definitely going to age a bit. Plus, they're going to just... I would say they're going to age too, just because they're like like malnourished, shit like that. You know what I mean, they're not getting any of the vitamins and the food. And
yeah,
shit
they're
like
going to look completely different.
Yeah, So I would imagine that would probably age you a little bit too, give you some wrinkles from the stress and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, 4 episodes left. I'm looking forward to this one. This is another Sunday night, but honestly, I don't think I've watched it on Sunday night once. I think I've gotten like almost all Fridays, because if you have it at Showtime, they release it early, so it's just like. Can't wait. You know what I mean? Can't wait. Which I should. I love Sunday Night TV. Making a mistake, maybe. But yeah, any other thoughts on Yellowjackets, Los?
I just had a question for you. Have they mentioned, like, when they're in the future moments, have they mentioned how long they were in the woods for?
Yeah, I think it's like 19 months.
Oh, okay.
I think it's either 18 or 19 months. Like a year and a half, they said. They said that like in, it's like one of the very first episodes. It actually might be the very first episode. I think it's like one of the you remember like that journalist that Misty ended up kidnapping for a while in season 1.
Yeah.
I think she's like going around, and I think she even asked. She was just like something like, you guys were out there for 19 months. How did you guys survive? Kind of a thing, some shit like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, I think it's like a year and a half. It's a long time. It's a long time. I'm also like very curious to see how they're finally going to actually like get out too. Just because of how how things are, they're in the middle of nowhere. It's like, is someone going to somehow stumble upon them? Is a random plane going to fly overhead and they'll find a way to signal it? I don't know. Are they going to use like the wilderness? Is like the wilderness gods like? Do they want to escape the fucking wilderness? So they're going to almost like fucking help. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know. I'm curious though. But yeah, I think that's all we got on Yellowjackets. From there, let's keep things moving with shifting in good time. We got all kinds of. This is where you're gonna really crank it up, Ledoux. We got all the Ledoux segments.
Yep, locked
we
in.
Got classics with Ledoux coming back this week. First time in a grip. We got one of my favorites you watched recently, Top Gun.
Yes, Top Gun.
One of my absolute favorites, 1986. Absolute banger. I mean, Tom Cruise couldn't be a better Maverick.
Couldn't be.
Val Kilmer kills it as Iceman. Their fucking back and forth is awesome. This movie to me, like, I wasn't alive for the 80s, but to me, this movie just feels so 80s to me.
No, I agree. And I like that it, I mean, obviously the special effects and everything aren't as, crisp as they are now, but I felt like it held up.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Held up well.
It's not Top Gun 2.
Yeah.
But it, like, totally still plays. Doesn't look bad at all.
I agree. No, it didn't look bad at all. Like you said, Tom is perfect as Maverick.
Awesome.
Val Kilmer, like that little like back and forth, like you said, that little like competition between the two, nothing crazy. They don't go too crazy, but it's just like, I'm gonna get the best of you. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Liked it a lot. Thought Tom killed it. Got a lot of respect for Tom.
Yeah, he's great.
In terms of he's a maniac for sure.
Oh yeah,
he's a maniac. I didn't really know how much he loved his job.
Oh yeah,
But-
he literally said he's like he never wanted to be the best actor. He just wanted to be the best in entertaining people. I think was the quote.
I think he's done a pretty good job at that.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
the
it's-
Mission Impossible movies, like just watching the behind the scenes things on YouTube of the stunts that he's doing. Is
Yeah, flying.
nuts.
Basically, I wasn't too informed as to the stunts he was doing by himself. I saw the video a couple years ago where he jumps like across two buildings and snaps his ankle, and I was like, "Oh, that is brutal." But no, I didn't realize he flew the helicopter in that one of the more recent Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
Flew that. He was hanging onto the side. I think it was the same movie, hanging onto the
that
side
was
of the plane.
crazy.
Like that.
That's
just
actually one of the
wild.
behind the scenes YouTube ones.
Yeah.
That one's fucking nuts. He's
Yeah.
literally just like strapped in. He's just like holding.
Yeah,
on to
just
the side
hanging
of the
onto
plane.
the
It's
side of the
dude,
plane.
like, you're not actually a superhero.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I got a ton of respect for him for doing stuff like that. Like that's some crazy stuff. Like I'm gonna do it myself. I'll just do it myself.
I already watched the new Mission Impossible. It's coming out this summer. They did one. It was like 20 minutes long, but in this movie, I guess he's literally like he's driving a motorcycle off a ramp, like off a massive cliff, like into a huge ravine.
Okay, I think I've saw.
So
Yeah.
he like fucking rides the bike, like drops the bike, pulls out a shoe.
Yeah, that's-
shoots
yes,
down. It's just
yes.
like, dude, like, this shit is fucking crazy.
I know. So yeah, like you said, he's definitely the best at entertaining. I think what's his name told him he saved Hollywood with Top Gun, right?
Scorsese, I think. Yeah,
Might have been Scorsese told me he saved Hollywood
I
with
think
that.
it was Scorsese.
Yeah, Top Gun. I really enjoyed the music.
Soundtrack,
I was gonna say the soundtrack
soundtrack's
is
awesome.
soundtrack's perfect, fits in well. So yeah, I gotta bang out the second one.
Yes.
So
Yes. Honestly, a movie that at first I think a lot of people were very much the same thing. Like this movie doesn't need a sequel. Like this movie's awesome as is. Let's just kind of fucking leave it, like let it be.
Right.
And then it was so fucking good that people, I think everyone, like me and myself included, was just blown away. Like,
yeah,
never saw it coming to be like that good.
I wanted to check it out regardless. I think I had put Top Gun on my radar because so many people had just random people that I wouldn't take for a Top Gun fan or you know what I mean. Were like, oh, this movie was great.
Yeah.
So it was so popular. I was like, all right, I need to check it out. And then I mentioned it to you. You're like, oh, you need to see Top Gun. So yeah, I got Top Gun Maverick on the list. So we'll check that out.
You're in for
I'm
a
excited for that too.
But yeah, like I said, perfectly covers like the soundtrack. I love the very music video s scenes, like the
volleyball scene,
right into him like hopping on the bike and just like riding
yeah.
to the girl's house and shit.
Switching up the tracks too. I think
Yeah,
they
as soon as
switch
they
up.
get there, it's like the mellow, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
all being soft and shit. It's
Exactly,
so fucking,
exactly.
The whole thing is so funny. And another thing I love is, which I think this is another big '80s thing, but again, Michael Bay actually does this all the time, which is more recent. But everybody in this entire movie, from start to finish, is sweating. The entire movie is pouring sweat.
You're right.
In every single scene, dude. There's not one. Everyone's just drenched all the time. It's very funny to me. I love that shit. But it's just like, to me, like I said, total 80s. Just total 80s. One of my favorites. And it's funny. So we were going to do 2 movies today. We didn't get to the second one. The other one was True Romance. And I didn't even make the connection until today when I was thinking about it. But both directed by the same guy, Tony Scott, who does a bunch of my fucking favorites. Done a lot of work with Denzel. Man on Fire is probably
Huge.
that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in
might-
a long time.
Yeah,
Man
that
on
was a
Fire.
bang.
That's one of my favorites.
That
for
one
sure.
might be it's right up there as my favorite Denzel.
I didn't hate Deja Vu either. Don't get me wrong. It's not the greatest movie of all time. It's one of those where, if it's on and there's nothing else, I'll just throw it on there and watch it. I didn't hate
cool
it.
scenes. It doesn't totally make sense.
I don't.
I feel
there's some huge plot holes for sure, but I don't know. It's just like I said. It's just one of those movies where it's on. It's on. It's,
for sure. I hear you.
So
You can never really go wrong with Denzel.
no, I agree.
Would
you say he plays the same sort of role though in most of his movies? I think I was having a discussion about this with a couple people a while back, and we were discussing some of our favorite actors, but someone mentioned, they were like, yeah, don't you think Denzel sort of just plays the same role in every sort of role like that?
Yeah.
Badass, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
not always exactly the same, but it's always a variation.
Sort of
of the
premise,
same
yeah,
role.
exactly.
Yeah.
American Gangster, like you said, Man on Fire.
He's done a couple of other actually I don't know. I guess the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 is Tony Scott as well.
That is a different type of
one's
movie.
different,
I agree with
which
you there.
is the same role that he does in The Inside Man. which is a good fucking movie.
Yes.
With Clive Owen.
Yes,
that's a
yes.
fucking good one. You seen
Real
that,
good
right?
movie.
The Inside Man?
Yeah,
That's
that is a good movie.
Great.
I haven't seen that one in a while
all-time
either.
twist at the end, like the way
Yeah.
they do it is like, oh, that's fucking cool,
Yeah.
man. We can do that. Like, let's stop building a fucking hole in the wall to bury. Come on, guys. We can do this.
That is a good one. Remember the Titans, too. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do say for the most part, yeah, even when it's not like...
But I just think when I think of Denzel, like, that's the sort of character I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
no, for
That
sure.
Man on Fire,
So even like John
American
Q's,
Gangster.
like different, but
Yeah.
he is like he gets pretty hot in that. Not
Yeah.
hot, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
he does some shit in that movie.
Those new, what's the new ones he's been doing?
Equalizer?
Yeah.
Those are a good time.
Yeah. I think I saw one of them.
I'm not the biggest like action for action's sake guy, but those actually are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretty
I think John
entertaining.
Wick's another one of those kind of action for
Exactly.
action shit.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen the new one yet. I gotta
I
check
haven't watched
that
3
out.
and 4. Yeah,
I think I need to watch 3 too, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I
shit.
think so.
Yeah, no, I got
gotta
to
bang that out.
Equalizer, that one's a good one. And then what was the Unstoppable is another one that he did too.
Yeah,
He's
with
done a lot
you
of
were
Denzel
talking about that with
stuff.
Chris Pine. I need to see the trailer or something for that. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like I know what you're saying, but I just
That one
can't
was a
picture that
big
for some
like,
reason.
Big. I think it was FX. That was like I remember being on like all the time. I don't think I've ever even seen the movie from start to finish, but I think I've watched say like 10 minutes here.
Yeah, here and
shit
there,
like
just
that.
kind of pieced it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Top Gun's fucking incredible. I'm glad you finally get around
Looking
to
forward
it. I'm
to,
excited to hear what you
Yeah.
think of Top Gun too.
Good decent setup too, so it's not going to be theaters, but we'll get a decent effect.
That was as soon as actually, you know what we saw? So we went and saw the Suicide Squad in IMAX.
Okay.
And when
The good one, right?
Yeah,
The good one you were talking
yeah,
about?
the James Gunn, the singer of
Yeah.
Guardians. When we saw that, we saw the trailer for Top Gun Maverick, like
Okay.
at the IMAX theater.
Yep.
And even from the trailer alone, right away I remember looking at Steph and I was like, "We'll be back here for that one."
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
the jets, like you want the fucking IMAX with the great sound,
Right,
the
right.
screen. So like you were with us for that, obviously. Like those flying scenes, like on that massive screen, it's like you felt like you were right in the fucking cockpit with Tom Cruise. You know what I
like
mean?
that.
It's
I don't want to
fucking
jump the
unbelievable.
gun, but there was a preview that we saw. We were talking about earlier. We'll talk about it down there, but I think the IMAX theater made a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really like the IMAX. I know that some people don't love the seats because it's not like the new ones with the reclining legs and all that shit.
I mean, I'm in. What more do people want?
Yeah, no.
It's comfortable. I got plenty of leg
what more
space.
they want?
Yeah. What do people want? I mean,
Him and
the
Steph-
Fall River ones are nice. The Fall River ones are nice, but you
Yeah,
know.
to me, give me the screen. Give me the screen
Los
and
doesn't like
sound.
IMAX. You don't like the IMAX seats?
No, they're just I want it all. Give me the fucking.
I mean, you're right. If those
Reclining
seats,
seats,
no, you're
amazing.
absolutely right. If those seats recline, then those they're the best of the
I
best.
wouldn't go
but-
anywhere else to go see a movie.
I mean, sitting in that IMAX theater compared to that Seekonk theater for Jurassic, oh my
That
god!
theater desperately needs. to
Every
be
time
updated.
I think
Desperate.
about, I'm gonna complain. I'm like, Seekonk,
Desperately. Yeah, I don't. We
that was a
read
tough
somewhere
hit.
that they had updated all their shit, and I was like, all right, cool. And then we got there, and I was just like, this is not updated.
No, it wasn't updated.
Bold-faced lie.
They're like, if that was updated, they're at least 4 or 5 updates behind. You know what I mean?
At least.
And I think the movie played part in that too. So just bad overall experience, but
Yeah.
Hey.
The problem I think was that like in IMAX, they build the seats so vertically, like almost like a stadium.
Yes.
So that everyone feels like you're almost on and in the screen.
Yeah.
Once you put those reclining seats in, you have to keep extending back so far. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay,
So I
that
feel
makes
like the
sense.
back of the theater is going to be. You'd also just fit way less seats. You know what I'm saying? They only
true.
have that one theater in Providence, which is where we go to. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love going to IMAX, especially for the
Yeah,
not
it was
for
comfortable.
everything, but for the right movies. you know
Well,
what
for
I'm
that stuff, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, Guardians was a good one to go see. Top Gun would have been a good one to go see.
saying? Like a lot of movies now too, like Guardians they like the whole movie shot with like their basically cameras.
yeah,
built
the
for
IMAX, yeah.
cameras, you know what I mean? So that's like the movie's how it's made to be seen. kind of.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think Lewis, what are your thoughts on Top Gun? I know you're a fan as well. The original.
Yeah, the original Top Gun.
Yeah. Actually, I thought both. Top Gun
Yeah.
original.
No, the original was good. It's just it's what you expect out of a movie that's made in the '80s, and then the newer one was just was like on steroids.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. On steroids is definitely. I don't hate that at all.
New one was like the old one on steroids.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Definitely a good way to put it.
I like that. Yeah, just updated, juiced up.
Yeah. R.I.P. and peace to Goose, of course. Shout out Goose. That's actually probably the one scene that actually doesn't hold up as well.
It's a little. It's like a weird.
It's
like,
so fast. You almost like don't even know what happened. Kind of.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like there's no like I feel like nowadays there would have been like a slow motion. There would have been like right but you would have seen like the fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They just both kind of fall, and then he's crying, and then it's like, oh yeah, Goose is dead. It's like, oh
right.
What? You
yeah,
know?
that's like the one part where I would be like, that would probably would have looked definitely a little bit better. But I can't wait to next time you're on. Hopefully, we'll be talking.
Yeah, I'll get that done. That's on my list. I got a bunch. I got the Planet of the Apes.
I gotta watch that trilogy too. So maybe that's something that we can do together. You know what I mean? We can bang out some of those.
We can definitely bang that out. What else do I have on there?
True Romance is one you still got to get.
John Wick 3 and 4. True Romance on here. Something else. I gotta bang out The Godfather.
Oh my!
Oh, I got True Romance on.
That is insane to me. The Godfather.
Both of them, 1 and 2.
I haven't watched those in such a grip. I could easily go back and watch those too. It's been a while since I've seen those.
You know what they've been running a lot? I know we'll be quick about it, but Casino's been on Showtime.
Oh, yes.
Oh man,
Casino's a great one.
Yeah,
awesome
it is.
Movie. That's
Love
a
it.
long fucking movie.
It's a long movie.
I think it's like 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
that's
it's long. Showtime doesn't cut it either, so I like that.
Yeah,
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. With commercials, you're looking at fucking. Oh no, it's on Showtime. You said?
Yeah, it's on Showtime,
right,
so no commercials.
See, that one used to be on like AMC a lot. Too.
Oh
like
yeah,
6 hours.
6 hours. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know what? Now that I just fucking thought of sequels real quick. Well, before we shift gears, a sequel that we talked about, I think the last time you were on, is Gladiator 2.
Yeah, I saw. I was reading. I think you retweeted something about the first Gladiator. I read through that whole thread and stuff.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a great thread. Pumped me up. Yeah, I know. That is one of the that might be a perfect movie. I saw you said that, and I was like, yeah, you really might be right.
It's literally perfect. Like there's not a scene in that movie that like bores me. That isn't like perfectly well done. That isn't like perfectly into the story.
I didn't know that guy died either. Like while they were filming the
Emperor.
Well, no, no. The guy with the white hair, his like the guy that picks him up out of the desert and everything. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh Jesus! Like the first guy that owns him, right? The one that
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can't.
I didn't even know he died. He died like on set.
Yeah.
Died like while they were filming. They had like time to. He was supposed to. In that thread, it says that at the end of the movie, when the guy, his friend there, who he fights with in the pits, is like burying. Yeah, he's burying the little
the little
figurines
statue.
there.
Yeah.
They said that it was supposed to be the other guy, but he died.
No shit.
Yeah, if you read through that whole thread, I forget where it was.
Oh, yeah, I must have.
But one of them says that like it was supposed to be the guy. I can't think of the guy's name, but
yeah, I can't either. For some reason.
Supposed to be his first owner's like supposed to be his scene. Like he was supposed to bury him, but he passed away on. Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I must have missed that one.
Yeah,
there was a lot of those.
There was. It was like 30 something slides. I think I read through.
But the reason I bring that movie up is so when we were talking about it, obviously I was kind of bashing it because I was like, this is a terrible mistake. To tie it into what we were just saying, Denzel is casted in the movie. So Denzel is in Gladiator 2.
Oh shit!
And also one of our favorites running right now, one of the most fucking successful men on planet Earth, Pedro Pascal, has also been casted in it.
I like that.
So now I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to turn my opinion a little bit.
I feel like Pedro fits in that like
totally.
that older style. Totally. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones, Gladiator, like that sort of. You know, that. I mean, any new information on the plot? Or
no.
Okay.
Everything like that is pretty on the wraps. I think that it's obviously written and stuff, but the plot's been kept on the wraps. They're just finishing casting basically.
Okay.
I mean, I saw those two names and I was like, damn. I was like, those are
that
heavy hitters.
Yeah, I like that. I'd be interested to see what they do.
Yeah,
you know?
like I said, that turned me around a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll hold the phone now. Maybe we have a Top Gun 2 scenario on our hand. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Maybe we're sitting there saying, who's asking for a Gladiator 2 sequel? And then Gladiator 2 is fucking Top Gun Maverick, and it's fucking unbelievable. How cool would that be? I hope I eat my words. Now that's what I'm hoping. Now I hope I eat my words.
I hope it's good, but it's a ballsy move, let me tell you.
It is, but honestly, it's weird that those things all just kind of crossed at the same time because I feel like it could be a perfect comparison, maybe. No one asked for Top Gun 2, and everyone was blown away. No one's asking for Gladiator 2. Maybe we'll all be blown away. Ridley Scott.
Be a nice little surprise for sure.
It sure would.
But then you said that they recast the guy who was playing the Emperor?
Well, the Emperor died, so it's the Emperor's son is, I think, like the main character. Was it Lucius? Yeah,
okay.
Lucius. He's being played by that Paul Mescal kid, who, as far as I know, is probably going to be the next Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four. 'Cause that's what the rumors
but didn't the Caesar die at the end of Gladiator?
The Caesar did, yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is actually, it's not his kid. It's his sister's kid. I'm sorry, not his kid. Wishes it was his kid because he's a fucking crazy
Yeah, he was a weirdo.
He wishes
He crushes it though, Joaquin.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, man. Very very talented guy. He's another one like I know you're a big Christian Bale fan, but
I'm a
both
big
those
Christian
guys can
Bale
do.
fan.
They can do it all, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They can do it all. But yeah, who knows? Gladiator 2, maybe it turns out to be something good. But we'll definitely be doing classics with Ledoux again next time you're on. We'll be going back.
One more thing. Speaking of Christian Bale, Pale Blue Eye.
Oh,
I know I mentioned it before.
You mentioned this one the last time you went to.
I watched it. Didn't blow me out of the park, but it makes you think. I enjoyed it. Christian Bale, I thought played really well in his role. And then I'm not too sure who plays his little.
Assistant or whatever.
Yeah, but he also played it very well. He's just like fits the role real well. And then, have you seen There Will Be Blood?
Yes, that's awesome.
All right, yeah.
That's
I was discussing that with someone else this week because we were talking about gangs in New York. We were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. They said they hadn't seen There Will Be Blood. I was like, oh, you need to watch that
movie. That's actually that's like my least favorite Leonardo DiCaprio role. Aside, obviously, like aside from like The Beach, which is,
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, I feel like he's just miscast in that movie. Like he doesn't. I just don't love him in that movie at all.
I liked him.
Weird.
I didn't hate him in there.
Yeah,
I didn't hate him in there.
And I love Leo. You know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Not,
Oh, I
not
know,
by
I know.
any means, but yeah, Day-Lewis, he fucking carried.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You fucking put
Gangs
that
in New
movie on
York,
his back.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
A couple intense scenes in that one.
Yeah,
That's been running on Showtime too.
From there, let's go to a couple of new trailers. We got 2 new trailers for 2, I would say probably the 2 most like anticipated movies for the rest of the year, I think, unless I'm forgetting something. But the first one was Oppenheimer. New trailer dropped yesterday, coming July 21st, so that's rapidly approaching. Same day as Barbie, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I haven't done
Double feature.
I haven't done a double feature at the theater in a while. But I think that might be the most perfectly lined up double feature of all time. Two
Opposites,
polar
yeah, I was gonna
opposites.
say.
You've got to do Oppenheimer first, I feel like.
Yeah, and then go
all
to
the
Barbie.
seriousness and intenseness.
Yeah.
And then you get out of that and you just go alone with Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. Hell yeah. I could honestly, I could watch the 2 of them on screen do fucking anything. They could just fucking play patty cake with each other for 90 minutes and I can watch beautiful people do anything. But this trailer was pretty damn good, I thought. Very intense. 3 minutes long, which is one of the first things I noticed. I was like, dropping a 3-minute trailer. That's like, it's kind of a flex a little bit. That's
Yeah.
we don't see him that long too often.
Good chunk of film in there.
Yeah. Which I know this one, all of Christopher Nolan's movies are pretty long, but I think this one's going to be like a little extra long. I think this one's like coming in at 3 hours.
Yeah, I remember there was a bunch of talk about that. I think when they first started filming or whatever was going on, they were saying like this is going to be whatever the runtime
Might have been
was.
even 3 and change. Might have been like 3:10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it might be something crazy.
But we get a first look at a couple people. We see our first look at Robert Downey Jr. real quick, which excited to see him. This cast, I mean, is loaded. Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Rami Malek, Emily Blunt. It's loaded. Obviously, Cillian Murphy, which he looks like he's dealing in this one. Like, I feel like obviously he's in all the Nolan movies. He's awesome in Peaky Blinders. He's a great actor. But this one to me feels like this is a role where he was almost built for it.
Yeah.
He looks like he's killing it, man. And on the opposite side of that, the only part of this trailer that I didn't like was Matt Damon.
Yeah, you mentioned
I
it.
feel like this is just right away. He's like every line he said, I was like, "This just sounds cool." You're Matt Damon.
Yeah.
You're just talking like Matt
Almost like
Damon.
can't take him serious a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but I just like, and I don't dislike Matt Damon either. There's a lot of movies like The Bourne Identity. Actually, the first 3 Bourne movies are all pretty damn fucking awesome. Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, obviously bangers. So it's not like I dislike him, but I don't, dude. He almost took me out of the trailer, which I hope he doesn't do. Like once the
movie. Hopefully, he like fits in a little better in the movie because, like you were saying, he was a little less. This was one of the ones we saw at IMAX,
That's
and
right, yes,
up until this point, I hadn't I probably would have checked it out, but I don't think I would have gone to the theaters for it. But now I think I have to see that in IMAX.
Yeah,
that's like an
IMAX
must watch. You know.
I'm down.
I love the true story stuff. I love movies based on history, and that like when we saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like this is going to be pretty intense."
And while it's like probably not the most exciting, like say like history story, like I said, this trailer looks like it's so intense.
Right.
So even though like there's going to be probably some like parts that are just like kind of like almost guys just talking in a room with ideas. I feel like even those are gonna be like very heavy.
Yeah,
You know,
almost
you can
like
feel the weight.
I don't want to say compare it to Chernobyl or anything, but that's sort of like
Very much so.
that intense
Yeah, no,
sort
I
of
get-
like
yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like
Which if
just-
this movie's as good as Chernobyl was, then sign me the fuck up.
Yeah,
'Cause
I-
Chernobyl is like the best miniseries I'd argue probably of all time. It's right up there.
I wouldn't argue against you. So
Banger. Absolute banger. If you haven't watched Chernobyl, go check it out on HBO. It's awesome. A little bit of a tough watch, I guess, just because there's some very serious shit going on. You know what I mean?
yeah, that was fun. That was crazy.
Best part about that is while they're dealing with such like intense, complicated like things, they did a great job of dumbing it down for the audience, where it wasn't like so basic.
Yeah, where stuff was just going over the top of your head.
But they
yeah.
did such a good job of explaining everything just like simply enough for you to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a tightrope that you know a lot of
And
people
at the
fuck up
same
on.
time, like also making it so that it was understood how, I guess, dire. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yeah,
the
sure.
seriousness of it was able to come across, but they were also able to dumb it down to where like someone, they're not talking crazy. About
sure.
about all the how a nuclear reactor works. Obviously, for the most part, nobody's gonna know how that stuff works.
Yeah,
So
no, shit was wild.
Yeah.
Well, you watched Chernobyl with me, didn't you?
I watched some episodes. I didn't watch the entire thing.
That's one thing you should honestly consider going back and rewatching or
Yeah.
watching in full. I've been thinking about rewatching it because it was, like I said, damn good.
I would definitely rewatch that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that was what, 6. It was only like 6. It wasn't that long.
I think 6 to 7 episodes.
Louis, what do you checked out the Oppenheimer trailer too? You saw it in theaters. What'd you think?
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for it.
I'm just hoping that this one's a little bit of a step up from the last Nolan movie.
Yeah, Tenet stunk.
Yeah.
Did it? I haven't seen it yet, Los.
And as we were kind of just talking about dealing with things and simplifying it, Tenet to me was one that, say like Inception, right? Inception's a perfect example, I think, because while it's complicated, they do a good enough job of explaining everything where you can follow it.
Right.
Tenet to me, I was like fucking lost, dude. I was fucking confused as fucking Tenet.
Oh man, Tenet made me dude. It made my fucking brain hurt.
It really did, yeah.
Brutal.
I was trying my hardest to follow it. A second watch would probably help, but it was, it was.
I'll check it out.
tough.
I'll
was
throw it
tough.
on the list and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Denzel's kid's in that, right?
Yeah, John David Washington.
Okay.
Ricky Jarrett, baby. Shout out Ballers. Dun dun dun. Best bad show of all time, except for maybe Out of
Who's
Bed.
the other guy in that's in it too?
Robert Pattinson, which he actually, while I didn't love the movie, I actually thought Pattinson was pretty badass in it. He was kind of a different role for him. He was kind of like the badass, you know what I
Okay.
mean? But he did it. I thought he was good. I thought he was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I need to check that out. That's been on my list for a while. That was something I was gonna check out in theaters, never got around to it, and then it's just kind of hasn't happened.
It was so
you know?
confusing to me that it just turned me off from ever wanting to watch it ever again. I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, they're like, I've seen some of the
Inception,
some of the
I've
stuff.
seen like 10 times. That movie, I don't know if I can do it another time.
Yeah, Inception's awesome. I love Inception.
I love Inception.
I know, shout out Luke. Luke's always on the pod, but he was one that I know he liked Tenet quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken, because we've talked about that movie before, and I think
Luke probably understood it though.
I know he's.
Luke probably was like
Luke-
doing,
touche.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know he said I think it took him like a couple watches though too. I think
Yeah,
he had to go
totally.
back and rewatch it to kind of
yeah,
iron everything out. You know what I mean? But yeah, Oppenheimer, like I said, July 21st. This is one of those big summer blockbusters. Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna be there. I mean, I'm excited for it. Usually he doesn't miss. Occasionally he does, but I don't know. I'm excited. Looks good. Fucking damn good.
You always got to believe in Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Got to believe.
From there, let's go to the real trailer. Oppenheimer looks good. Oppenheimer looks pretty cool. But it doesn't even come close to the trailer that Dune 2 dropped on our faces.
Twice.
Yeah, that's right. So when we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, we were in the fucking previews, and I've never seen this in my entire life. We see the Dune 2 trailer. I get all excited. I sit up in my seat. I'm like, oh my God, that was awesome. Then there was something in the middle. I can't remember what it was in the middle. It might have been Little Mermaid.
I think it was Little Mermaid.
It might have been
I think
Little
it
Mermaid.
was Little
I
Mermaid.
think
Which
Transformers.
It could have been
could have
Transformers.
been, might have been those two, and then
Yeah.
it went dark, and then
And then they went back to Dune 2.
yeah.
I was
Transformers actually look pretty good too.
like, the new Transformers movie, I keep saying it. I've said this a few times because we're both like out, or we
Right.
said we were out. I think it looks pretty okay.
Yeah, a little
you
switch
can go
up.
Flipperoo again.
You know,
You might have to. Oh, all right. Word.
And I don't think. I'm not gonna go see it, but I didn't. Maybe I'm crazy. Little Mermaid didn't look that bad, and they got a good. I got a good laugh out of it too. That was incredible.
Die, dude.
That was awesome. Even though I
got
don't
no legs, you idiot.
Oh
Dude,
man,
I freaking died.
but I thought wasn't he a lobster or something in the? Maybe I'm crazy.
I think he was a crab.
Was he a crab?
I think he was a crab.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding that movie, but
Dude,
I was like, oh, this doesn't look that bad.
But yeah, the show a trailer. I've never experienced that before. A trailer twice in one movie.
Yeah, well, they gave us like the pre-previews, and then they hit us with the real previews. But they're just doubling down. They know, suckering us in
for real. Like I said, this trailer was like fucking epic in my opinion. I basically put my entire reputation on the line with the first Dune. Like the second I heard about it was like 3 years in the making. I heard Dennis Villeneuve, who is obviously the man, Sicario, Prisoners, Blade Runner 49.
Love Sicario.
Sicario's amazing. Yeah, Prisoners is like he makes bangers. He makes like certified bangers. And right away he was like, it's gonna be a huge universe. It's gonna be like a Lord of the Rings or like a Star Wars universe, like that size. It's based on a whole series of novels that he's working on. So I was like, all right. This is going to be incredible. As soon as I saw the first things from it, I was like, all right, I'm literally putting all my chips in. I know you heard me. I was putting it on Twitter like crazy.
Yep.
Movie totally delivered. I think this trailer makes the second one look like it's going to be even better.
I'm excited. That was a real good trailer.
Fucking damn good.
It was a good trailer. We saw some stuff I wasn't really expecting to see.
That was, I think, the only thing, if you can call it a complaint, was that they almost did a little bit of a spoiler in the trailer. One of the big things that me and you both were asking when we left the first Dune was, do we think we'll see Josh Brolin again?
Yes.
Because he charges basically right onto what looks like a suicide mission. You know what I'm saying? But they show him in the trailer. So I was like, okay, obviously he's alive. So that's a good move.
That was, and I think you mentioned they put something else out with him too, like a couple days before the trailer.
They did a bunch of just like the face shots, basically of all the characters. And
and you said so that, like you said, that was a little bit of a disappointing because I think that would have been a cool moment to see him just pop up out the blue after what happened in the first one, kind of leaving everybody questioning what happened. But they showed us a lot in that.
They did, man. And like to show everything that they did, and obviously the big sequence is him riding the worm for the first time.
Yeah,
you see teased at the end of the first movie. You know what's coming in this movie. It's going to be a huge moment, and they give it to you in the trailer, which to me is just like, this movie is going to be fucking crazy. If they're giving us that shit, this movie is going to be fucking nuts.
It's either that or they just put all their chips in there. But I think you're right. I think ultimately they know they've got some stuff up their sleeves. I mean, that other scene at the end where he's in the front of all those people, and I think this is
Oliphant's such a gangster. I love this. Yeah, he's the man. I can't wait to see him. He's playing prequel to Willy Wonka in December.
Okay.
I think he's gonna absolutely smash.
Yeah, after seeing him in Dune, I liked him a lot. You
Yeah,
know? I think that might be I'm trying to think what else I've seen.
He's been in a lot of a lot of movies that have been nominated for Oscars, but they're like small. Like he was in Little Woman. It's like smaller things like that.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that.
Too.
I don't know if I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, but come on, like indie movies, artsy movies, kind of shit like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
So he's a talented cat for sure. But this fucking. We saw first glimpses of Florence Pugh, who's obviously an addition to this, and we also got our first looks at Austin Butler, which he looks fucking sick. And I know I haven't read the books, but I just picked up online that him and Timothy Oliphant's character Paul, they're gonna have like a big rivalry. They show in the trailer.
I was gonna say they show.
I think that's gonna be like the first of a many. You know
I like that then.
I think they're gonna have like a big budding rivalry.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then from what I also know, Florence Pugh's character is going to introduce a love triangle with Oliphant, Zendaya, and Florence Pugh.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, I do too. I love Florence Pugh. I'm very, very excited. Christopher Walken's also he wasn't in the trailer, but Christopher Walken's also joining the cast. Really? Love Christopher Walken.
You keep saying Oliphant. You mean Chalamet?
Yeah.
Why did I say Timothy Oliphant? Yeah, I did say Timothy Oliphant.
For a second.
Yeah, no.
I thought that was his nickname, so I was just going with it.
I
was like, he knows him well.
Yeah,
He's seen all these other movies with him.
Fucking The Girl Next Door.
Okay, all right.
Actually, he's in the episode of Mandalorian too. Season 2, episode 1 there. He's like the sheriff of the town.
All right.
That's Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, my bad. Timothy Chalamet. My fault. But yeah, no, like I said, this trailer looked fucking epic. I love that the music brought you right back into the world.
Love the music,
the drums,
the drums and that, the yelling, that like crazy yelling,
the lady
yelling. Like, It's just different. You're in like a different world. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those movies.
Looks epic. That's another one straight for IMAX. I feel like.
Oh, 100%.
No doubt about that.
100%. What did we see that? Fall River last time?
Yes.
I think we did.
Yes.
Definitely we'll have to go IMAX
Yes.
next time.
That's November 3rd.
Those drums were hitting a little different in the IMAX theater.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. For sure. But, I mean, that is... I think in January, we did, like, a preview show for the entire year. We kind of went through the calendar of all the things that we knew we were going to be releasing. And I said right then that this was my most anticipated movie of the year. And now it's, like, probably the most anticipated movie I've had since the first Dune. But I'm so excited. I mean, this trailer looked, like I said, epic. Yeah. Even shout out Max Oldroyd. He doesn't even like really like go to the movie theaters anymore. He kind of just waits for shit to come out, and he doesn't even like that much shit. But he texted me out of nowhere. He's like, "Dude, that Dune 2 trailer was a fucking vibe."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, you bet
gotta
your
check
ass,
that
that's
out.
my boy."
You gotta check that out in IMAX.
It was fucking banger. Lowest thoughts, Dune 2. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks pretty good.
I know
the first one.
Yeah, you a big fan of the first one? How big are you a fan?
Yeah, I wasn't like in love with it, but no, I thought it was well done. I from just like recent memory, I'd give it probably like an 8.2 out of 10. It's pretty good. Rating.
Still low, but I'll accept it. still low, but I'll accept it.
Tough to give out ratings.
Cannot wait for Dune 2.
Yeah, the second one looks. Yeah, though my criticism of the first one was it was just a little slow, but.
Yeah, that happens a lot with even actually Lord of the Rings comes to mind right away.
Yeah,
but
Fellowship heats up right at the end
after the trilogy's done.
Yep, for sure.
Is it a trilogy?
I think it's supposed to be at least a trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a trilogy and then
a couple more after.
Build something from there. You know what I mean? Whether
into
it's
that.
a series or a fucking.
I thought it was only going to be like 2 movies at first, and I was a little like, I feel like you got a lot of stuff you can kind of go with this. So.
There's a lot of books. There's a lot. Like
good.
the original author, I think, wrote like 20, and then his 2 sons
make like 4 or 5 movies then,
like
and then do a little go off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'll keep showing up. I'll fucking keep giving you guys my money. I'm obsessed. I
100%.
I'm excited too. Like, Zendaya is definitely going to be a much bigger part in this one too.
Yeah,
you know I mean,
I agree.
A much bigger role. So, love her. Excited to see more of her. But cannot fucking wait. November 3rd cannot come quick enough. Actually, you know what? Let's see what the countdown says right now. We have exactly 177 days till Dune 2.
It's crazy. There's only 100. It's crazy that it's already May, and that's gonna fly by. We'll be ripping that in what'll feel like a couple weeks, you know?
Yeah. Summer goes by so fast, you know what I mean? I can't believe freaking Into the Spider-Verse is already less than a month away. June fucking 2nd. Tickets went on sale like 2 days ago. I can't wait. I don't know if you showed I don't know if you just saw like a new clip that they just dropped, but there's literally like like the meme of the Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah.
It literally it starts with say like 3 or 4 of them, and it just keeps escalating to the point where it's just like 500 Spider-Men all in one shot, all just pointing at one another. So like I was like, these guys know what they're doing. Like, these guys know what the people want. Yep. It's gonna be fucking a good time. I can't wait for that. But I think that wraps it up for the trailers pretty much. Yes, that's all we got. Oppenheimer, Dune 2. Any more thoughts?
No, excited to see them both.
Let's go to our last bit here. Let's get into the best part of the show, or the part that I'm most excited to talk about. Like we said off the top, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just got done with their opening weekends. I think it made like $285 million, which is a pretty good starting number. I'm definitely going to be trying to go see it again because I loved this movie. I know that probably doesn't surprise many people. I love James Gunn. I love the Guardians. I was very excited for this movie, but I totally thought it lived up to the hype in every single way. In my opinion, it was the best thing definitely since Endgame. I think it might have even been better than Endgame, but I'm not going to say that until I see it again.
High praise, Coach.
Yeah, I like Endgame a lot. I didn't love Endgame. There are parts of it that I thought could have just been a little bit better and
That's
stuff like
fair.
that.
Infinity War was better.
It was Infinity War is my number one. It's my number one like MCU project. But this definitely slides into the top 10 for me, like no questions asked. I literally loved it. We're gonna kind of get more into the specifics of why, but what did you guys think of the movie?
I enjoyed it. I think I was talking to Lois earlier. I'd say probably high 7s, low 8s for me personally. Okay. You know, I feel like that's a pretty good score though, because I mean, I don't think I give too many 10s. I don't think I have any 10s in my book. To be honest with you,
10s is supposed to be like.
I like to be a tough judge. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm not as big, obviously, into the Marvel verse. I haven't seen all the Marvels. I've seen all the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a good movie. It was definitely. I obviously remember them being funny.
Yeah, they're definitely.
It was just more of I don't know. I just remember it was just funnier, I guess.
I think a lot of the jokes really hit in this.
Yeah,
for sure. I thought a lot of the jokes really hit.
Yeah, just like that dry, almost like stupid kind of humor. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like you're expecting something else to happen. Like where we'll get into it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I'm glad we went and saw it in IMAX.
Yeah, it definitely looked awesome.
Yeah. So overall, enjoyed it a lot.
All right, Los, what overall thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Same thing though. Ledoux said it was funny. I'd give it a 7.8 out of 10.
7.8.
I know it's low for your standards, but
hey, it's all right. I mean, everyone's got that thing. Like I said, I'm a big I love James Gunn. I was saying before he even got hired, I was like, if you guys, it was pretty much right after I saw Suicide Squad, I was like, I mean, DC, if you guys don't want to like completely go in the gutter, unplug it and like flip it. Yeah, there you go. I was like, if you guys don't want to like completely go in the gutter, if you guys want to try and save this universe, I was like, the guy to hire is James Gunn. Because he like understands how to make a superhero movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fun. They're not over the top goofy. They're not over the top serious. Like they're exactly what superhero movies should be. So I'm actually not a DC guy, but I'm excited to see now what DC's doing. Like now I'm gonna go check out a lot of the DC project because of James Gunn. You know what I'm saying? I loved the Guardians. Like I loved their misfit kind of group mentality. Like they're all just plucked from different areas and forced to
they're like not together. Main characters basically.
Yeah But I mean, like I said, thought the jokes really hit. The soundtrack, as always,
I was gonna say that was the other thing I loved. Soundtrack in those movies are always excellent.
Always. Same thing with the Suicide Squad was the same thing. Soundtrack, like the guy,
I need to see Suicide Squad.
Loves Peacemaker. Actually, is the same thing too. Like he loves to use music to enhance scenes. He does it. That's another thing. Like not all directors know how to do that. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
you see
he does an excellent job of it.
Exactly. Things that fit perfectly. It's awesome soundtrack. Will Poulter came in, who's a guy that's very like beloved in Hollywood. Everyone loves him. He seems the man. He came in as Adam Warlock. I really liked his addition. I thought he came in like pretty perfectly because he's obviously this super powerful being, and we see him right away like kind of being intimidating, being super strong, but at the same time, he's basically a child, like a toddler. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's only been alive for like I say, like a year or two. You know what I mean? It's been a very short duration of time. So he's basically like an oversized, overpowerful toddler, which is a lot like how he acted throughout the movie. You know what I'm saying?
He was good. He was funny.
I thought he was good.
I had no idea who he was, honestly.
So he was like from Where the Mills. He's like the fake son or whatever. Fucking the kid who gets his nuts like fucking all swollen.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. No, I'm saying in that movie, I was like, because I was going to ask you. I thought that was the guy from Where the Mill Is.
All right. I got you. My fault.
That's all.
Oh, shit.
No, he just like came in. Yeah, he just like came in and started like beating the shit out of everybody. And I was like, I don't even know who this guy is really. So I was like, but he's from that same like colony from the first Guardians, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So at the end of Guardians 2, in the post-credit scene.
Yeah, see, shame on me. I haven't seen post-credit scene, probably.
Yeah, so one of them is like I think she's like the High Priestess or some shit like that.
Okay.
That's Game of Thrones. It's something along those lines, though. Like the girl that's in charge of all of them.
Right.
It's her outside, like basically outside of his like holding little like chamber kind of a thing. And
okay.
She's like, Adam, like you're gonna like we need you to wake up early kind of thing.
Okay.
Which she actually mentions too, which is also why he's like his brain's not totally like they pulled him out of the chamber basically early.
Or I do. All right, yeah, I think she says that in one of the scenes. He came out early, so.
And then the other new addition who was unbelievable was Jakudi Awuji, who was in Peacemaker as well. He comes in as the High Evolutionary, and I thought he fucking killed it. He was just pure fucking evil.
He was good.
I thought he was great.
Yeah. The way mad scientist, sort of.
Yeah. He literally, like they talk about in the movie, he considers himself a god, and I felt like he treated everybody like he was a god.
Yeah.
The way he talks to his henchmen, the way that he's so quick to destroy an entire planet filled with creatures that he basically built. Without
I gotta start over and perfect it.
Yeah. And like you're really evil when you're like a bad guy, and your own henchmen all like turn on you. That's when you know, like, you're fucking evil, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I thought he was awesome. obviously the whole Rocket backstory was really, really good. Those little characters were super touching.
Yep.
Tooths, Floor, Lila, they were all great. that shit was hysterical.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you said he does a good job of like the animals. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like just something. You know what I mean?
It's literally a gift. Like,
Yeah.
to make you feel about these characters, like I said, it's fucking Rocket, a raccoon, a tree.
Yep.
Pink Shark in fucking Suicide Squad. Weasel was in Suicide Squad. He only had like 2 scenes, and I still was like, this guy's the fucking man. Like, I love Weasel. Lila, Floor, Toos, they're only on for a few scenes, but like right away you feel attached to them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
They're
He does
just
a real good job of that.
funny, charming. Like, you can't help but love them. As soon as they die, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it was messed
that
up.
hit, you know what I mean? That was sad. But this movie was great. The person that I think really stole the show for me, though, was Nebula. Karen Gillan, she's obviously killed it in this role for a while now. But I thought her total arc from where we started with her in Guardians 1 to where we are with her in Guardians 3, I would say is the second best arc in the MCU short of Loki. I think Loki's the only one that I like better. And I think they have very similar arcs, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both obviously start out villains, bad guys, pretty evil to the bone, especially Nebula. And to her to transform into the person that she is in this movie, I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, she is ride or fucking die for these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like I said, I don't watch obviously as much of the Marvel stuff, but just seeing her like you said back in the earlier movies, how she was like cold and just
hunting down Gamora, her own sister. Like,
yeah.
Her only goal was to kill her sister.
Yeah, just like cold and like precise. And now in this one, it's like a total. She's still got that obviously,
Sure.
but it's just
yeah.
she's like softened up to the point where, like you said, she's part of the crew. You know.
She was like, Thanos was like, torturing her. Gamora was basically always kicking her ass, which is what led to the torturing. So she was just abused forever, and you could tell she was just basically looking for like a home, a family. You know what I mean?
Looking for people a little.
Exactly. Yeah. And now that she's found them, man, she's like one of those like. She's the kind of person like you want on your side because she's
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she'll do
exactly.
whatever it takes. The part that got me the most, man, was like, so obviously Rocket is like unconscious. They're trying to get the med pack, not the med pack, but they're trying to figure out how they can give him the med pack to heal him.
Yep.
When they finally do it, she's on the ship with Drax and Mantis.
Okay.
And they get like the comms call, and like she hears Rocket's voice.
Yes.
And she literally starts. I didn't even know she could cry because she's like a robot, but she literally starts like crying. I was just like, oh man, like that hit me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Another thing that I noticed too, which I like, so everyone's always called her Nebula. Rocket a couple times just calls her Neb, which I liked because I was like, they're the only 2 like Guardians that weren't taken during the snap. Everybody else was.
Okay.
So they spent like 5 years
together
when all of the other Guardians.
It's true. I didn't think of that.
So they had an even closer connection
than the rest of them. Right.
So I thought that.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that really.
Yeah. I thought that was very cool. I thought Cosmo, the space dog, great addition.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was at first, but that was a great addition. I thought that was a funny role.
Yeah.
That, the
She's
good
only
dog,
popped up like
good dog, bad dog thing at the beginning. That's like, like
when Kraglin
just
was
like that
she's
joke,
a good dog.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fucking great. I think it's in the first Guardians. They go to the Collector, and like a fight breaks out, and she's in one of the Collector's like holding cells.
Okay.
And it like gets like smashed, and that's how she actually she escapes.
Okay.
So I don't even know how she ended up finding her way to them, but in the Christmas special was like the first time that she was.
Yeah, you were saying she was in that, so.
But loved that. Loved seeing Kraglin. Finally figuring out how to use Yondu's fucking arrow.
That was awesome too.
Super sick.
Yep, that thing's awesome. That was a good scene.
Yep.
I
have so little complaints. The first F-bomb in the MCU.
That was awesome too.
Yep. Which I love. Like James Gunn, obviously he loves. Like he's a guy that loves to fucking. He loves profanity. So I think he knows he's leaving. He sees the writing on the wall. He sees Deadpool coming in, and that's rated R. So he's like, before I leave, I'm getting in the first fucking.
I did like that. Yeah, I did like that. Like it was just like one of the not necessarily a joke, but it was just like
great.
Yeah, it was just like perfectly timed. Like everybody was like everybody in the audience gasped. Like Like it was something like so crazy, but it was really just, you know, he just like opened the fucking door. It was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Which was funny.
It was perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad he threw that in there. I know you love the hallway scene. I know you like that a lot.
I think so. Right away, my initial thought was Infinity War when Thor gets to actually the whole Wakanda scene. Even before Thor arrives with Rocket and Groot. But the whole Wakanda battle on Infinity War is like my number one battle scene.
Okay.
Then after that, I would probably go to Captain America Civil War when they're at the airport and we get Black Panther and Spider-Man for the first time.
Yep.
And we have like 6 Avengers versus 6 Avengers.
Yep.
That one's awesome. And then right behind that, I think I would slate in that hallway scene.
That hallway scene reminded me a little bit of Age of Ultron when they're fighting off the when it's like all of them are surrounding the thing.
Yes,
I don't know why. It's probably one of the ones I've just seen more often because it's
sure.
on TV a lot. But yeah, that's the hallway scene reminded me of that little like battle where they slow everything down and Cap's like jumping and kicking. And, you know what I mean? So
I think I said it to one of you guys as we were leaving. I actually saw someone else say it online too, which I actually thought was funny. But it reminded me of the first Kingsman movie. Like the church scene where he's just like going through the church and just like executing like 70 people by himself and with Freebird's playing.
Yes.
That I got some of those vibes watching that.
All right.
But I mean the way that they did that was so like just the jumping to each character and you get like a little bit of just how they unique like they fight personally.
Right.
But they're constantly fighting in perfect unison where you're seeing like them do moves with other guys at the same time constantly.
And like you said, they were doing that as they were like moving up through the hallway.
Right.
So like by the time they got through everybody, that's when they were at the hallway and that was the end. And I was like, that was awesome.
It was so fucking cool, man.
Well executed.
So fucking cool. I know that they said that was like a really complicated scene to film too. They said that
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine with the CGI and the getting it right where people need to be and shit like that. I can see being like one of those tough ones to nail down, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd have to like probably not go back, but I'd have to like at least go movie by movie to like think about like the best action scenes from each one.
Yeah, really, and then really analyze.
But right away, I think that like slated in like I think it right at number 3. There was actually another one of the people hate on these Phase 5 movies, man. But Shang-Chi had a fucking unreal fight scene too. The one that's at night, like on the skyscraper, that's all along the side of the building, and there's
the scaffolding.
Yeah, that's a fucking fight scene too, man. That one was really good. Even the fucking the first one on the train too. That one, the bus. That one, that dude. Have you seen Shang-Chi?
I have not seen it.
Check out Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was good.
Okay.
Shang-Chi was fucking good, and the fight scenes were fucking really good.
All right.
That one I would
Throw it
definitely
on
check
the list.
out. Yeah.
It's on the list.
List
just keeps growing, man, right now. We're racking it up.
But I thought that this was, like we kind of mentioned at the top of the show, this was supposed to be like kind of their swan song. So I thought it was going to definitely be a little bit like sadder. I was expecting Rocket for sure to go out. I was expecting Drax to probably go out. But I liked the way that they ended up ending things. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much a end to the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was an end to this version, this team of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was also kind of like a goodbye to James Gunn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these characters, I think we saw in the 2 end credit scenes, these characters are absolutely going to be back.
So I know we saw Star-Lord. Who's the other one we saw?
So the first end credit scene was basically the new team. You got Rocket, who's fully taking on the mantle of Rocket Raccoon now, which is cool because that's what he really goes by in the comics.
Okay.
So he's like the new captain. He's the new head of things, which I think in the comics, Adam Warlock is actually the one that takes over, but he's now a part of the team, either way.
Okay.
Then we got Kraglin, and then we have Groot, who is fucking turned into a monster.
Yeah,
I know in the comics there's they call him King Groot. He's like different from the Groot that's in the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think they're gonna basically like take that storyline
and kind of morph it into it.
Yeah.
I like that.
They look like his head was so monstrous, and it's got like almost.
Yeah,
like
he had like the crowns.
You know
he had the little leaves there that he's got up
Exactly.
top and the little branches.
So we see them, and then they also one of the girls that they saved from the high evolutionary ship that was captured. She was also there too. We didn't.
Oh, one of the young girls. Yeah.
I think she's supposed to be like witchcrafty of some variety.
Okay.
I believe because I saw some people talking about her in the comics, and supposedly she's pretty cool.
Okay.
So we saw like that whole new team of the Guardians, which to me, like if they're doing that, especially like actually like the King Groot thing, if we're gonna soup him up,
right?
It's not for no reason. We're not gonna soup him up for fucking. For
yeah, just for the end of the end credits. Right. No, I agree. I like that they didn't really kill anybody off because I feel like they weren't. Not that they're not main characters, but again, they're not Captain America, Thor, Hulk. They're not any of those people. So I feel like it was a good way to.
But they are like they're crucial in this. Like all of their movies have actually so the first one introduced the Infinity Stones.
Right, I remember that.
Because they're in space, they're almost always dealing with big things. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Even
absolutely.
the second one, they meet Kurt Russell's character, Ego.
Yes.
He's a Celestial, which is basically like the MCU's version of basically gods.
Right.
So that was the first time that we had heard about them too. So that was the introduction of the Celestials.
Okay.
So it's they're always doing.
Yeah, they're almost opening the door a little bit to each part. So in that sense, I guess you're absolutely right. I guess I look at it as it would have been a huge. Of course, it would have been if one, Rocket or any of them died, but it was a good way to kind of put a bow on that story, like you said, that this particular group and that story. And then, I mean, obviously, like you said, we're going to see those characters that they showed again, you know? So I think it was a good way to sort of end things in a way where Drax and all them, they go their separate ways and everybody's
He's the only one that I don't think we might. Well, I mean, unless
you think we're not going to see, right? Yeah.
Just based on what he said.
But that's what I'm saying. Those guys kind of get their stories over. Now we get this new group of Guardians. Star-Lord's doing his thing, so there's obviously still a chance, and more than likely, that they're gonna he'll pop back up. You know what I mean? So I thought it was a good way to end it without necessarily killing people off, instead of
and still having them available, because we're gonna have some pretty crazy projects coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So after the way the movie ended, and then that first credit scene, I was like, all right, cool, we're going to see all these characters back. In my head, I thought, Star-Lord, Drax, and then probably Nebula, just because she's come so full circle. Her and Drax are going to go to nowhere and basically just take care of all these kids and animals that they just saved.
Right.
I was like, these are the characters that we're probably going to be done with. So then for that second credit scene, which wasn't anything too crazy, but for them to end it with Star-Lord will return, to me, I was like, oh, all right, cool.
He's coming back,
I was because obviously Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars, those are going to be huge, multi-universe, pulling in characters from all over. So it would only make sense for them to be a part of that, that's probably the next time we're going to see them. I don't think we'd see them before that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an awesome moment. That's not for 3 years from now. There's going to be a whole bunch of projects.
Yeah, that come in between. I think that's perfect, though. I feel like that's how you have to do it. Where you know what I'm saying? Instead of just milking the shit out of those characters, you take them out, you introduce a new group, and then you bring those guys back, because then they're that much more people love that shit. People are gonna eat that shit up in 3-4 years when Star-Lord pops back. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. It's gonna be an awesome,
exactly. A nice round of applause at the movie theaters. Live for it.
Think about think about fucking it'll be a smaller version of the Spider-Man shit, but you got William Dafoe back. And
that was awesome. Goblin. I think we did get a standing ovation. That was awesome.
The craziest theater experience
I love that
I've
shit.
ever had in my entire life.
I eat that shit up though. I love that. The crowd's going nuts.
Fucking wild, dude. Such a great time. I loved it.
Yep.
But I literally loved this movie. I gave it a 9.3. That's probably what I came away with. Like I said, easily slates right into my top 10. I have to watch it again. It could even creep into my top 5, though. If it's in my
all-time movies?
No, for the MCU. For the MCU. It would be. It could creep into that 5 spot. It's right there. Infinity War, Guardians 1, Civil War. Those are definitely my top 3 in that order. I like Endgame a lot. I think I might like this most. This might even slide in up to maybe 4 or 5. Who knows? Ragnarok's right up there too. I love Ragnarok.
Okay.
But I thought this was top-notch stuff. I mean, I really, really did. I loved it. And I can't wait. Like we just kind of said, I can't wait to see them again in a big, massive battle with fucking.
We'll be there cheering. I'll be in the crowd cheering with my popcorn.
I'll be going crazy.
100%.
I'll be going crazy. Los, any more thoughts on Guardians?
Yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, it's funny. I like the dynamics between the different characters, and I liked Nebula. She was pretty funny. It was kind of tough to see it break up, but I'm on to the next chapter.
Yeah, actually, what do you? Because you watch pretty much everything. What do you think about what I said as far as her arc being to me second to Loki, pretty much. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd rank it, but it was good. It was she started off as a villain and worked her way into being one of the main assets of the team.
Yeah, Wanda is another one who obviously she's started bad, went good. Now she's kind of going a little bit bad again. But like it's all like for good reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I like Wanda's arc.
Wanda's another really good one. This is a conversation that I just saw floating around online, which is the reason why I kind of said that and started kind of ranking them out. But a lot of people were saying ones that I just like. Well, I love the character. I was like, I don't think you guys know what the word like arc means. Like for instance, a lot of people were saying like Tony Stark. I was like, Tony Stark started as like a real egomaniac, and he got a little like a less selfless, but like he's the same guy. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
there's not much character arc there.
no. Like the first movie,
Learned a little bit of like keep his ego in check, and then obviously he had like his kid and stuff, but he was still, like you said, he was still the same guy.
For sure.
You
Like
know what I
in the
mean?
first movie, they said like, "What would you be without your arm?" And he goes, "It's playboy, billionaire, philanthropist."
Yeah.
It's like that's who Tony Stark is through and through to the
Right.
bone. Like,
That's the character.
right.
Yeah, that's Iron Man.
Like I said, slight changes. Like he gets a little less egomatic, gets a little bit
Yeah.
more selfless. Like, but like he doesn't change like drastically. You know what I mean? I saw one person say Captain America. I was like, what? I was like, he's the guy that changes the least.
Yeah.
I was like, from the moment he's skinny as fuck in the first movie to the moment he goes old, he's
Same
Captain
guy.
America. He doesn't
Same
change
guy.
at all.
Exactly.
I was like, you guys, I just don't think you guys know what the word arc means. To me, like I said, Loki's number one. I love Loki, and for him to turn not just from a bad guy to a good guy, but he is so lovable to me. I fucking love Loki. Can't wait to see Loki season 2. I think I saw it's rumored. I think it's rumored for October.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'd like that. We have Secret Invasion it'd be like June, July, and a little bit of August. Then like a month and a half off or 2 months off, and then Loki season 2.
Love that.
Yeah, that'd be dank. I think that'd be a great way to have the shows go. But yeah, now we have a little bit of a wait. The next thing we have is the Marvels, which I don't think any of us are very excited about. I'll still go check it out, but definitely not one I'm too hyped for. Then after that, though, I think it's a banger after that. What is the... Oh, shit. I can't think of what the next one is, but I know... Oh! It's the next Captain America, Fallen Order, which I've heard already a lot of good things. I know Harrison Ford's in there. He got casted. The Hulk's supposed to be a big part of that movie.
It's the guy that just took over for him, right?
The new Captain America? Yeah, Anthony Mackie. Shout out Papa Doc, A-Mile. Yeah,
Okay.
he's the man. Love him. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for that one. The Marvels, it doesn't do very much for me. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up, right, for Guardians? Any other thoughts?
I think that was it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, it seemed like everybody pretty liked it. I obviously liked it a little bit more than everybody else, but overall, everyone liked it. Like I said, people love it.
Sevens,
Box
low
office
eights for
crushing.
me. That's a good score. I feel.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And like I said already, DC is in very good hands. I haven't watched many DC movies, but now I'm fucking intrigued by him just because this guy's
The only one I think, well, obviously I've seen Superman versus Batman or whatever when that's been on
Didn't even see
TV.
that one. I heard that one sucked though, right?
I mean, they got a cool, there's like a monster or something at the end that's like pretty cool, but other than that, pretty forgettable movie, I'd say.
Yeah. That's the one where they just like stop fighting because their moms have the same name, right?
Yes, that is it. Yeah, that's how that's how the movie is.
What the fuck?
But no, I do want to check out the Snyder cut or whatever.
Snyder Cut was
Even
good.
though I heard it's ridiculously long.
Yeah, it
but,
was. It was almost 4 hours.
Yeah,
was
but
good.
I will check that out
Yeah, it
for
was
sure.
good. Honestly, there wasn't many slow parts. It was good.
Yeah, that's
check
what
out
I
that.
heard.
Check out the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Suicide Squad was fucking awesome. And actually, you know what? Check out Peacemaker too. I actually just started rewatching Peacemaker like 3 days ago. I watched the first 3 episodes. That show's fucking awesome.
I will check that out.
Unfortunately, season 2 of that's not coming for a while because it's like there's going to be like a bunch of projects basically that fill storyline, and then you know what I'm saying? It's a gap. But yeah, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us here tonight. Yeah. Yes. Word. Like I said earlier, check out The Citadel. Check out Love and Death. Check out From. We're definitely going to be talking about those a little bit, in the coming weeks. Yellowjacket as well. We're going to be covering that still. 4 episodes of that. But yeah, check out all those. We'll probably be coming back to you guys in a couple weeks, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And then we'll definitely be back after Into the Spider-Verse for sure. But as always, thanks for tuning in. Please remember to share the show, subscribe to all our channels, leave a comment, leave a rating. Smash that shit. Smash it.
Smash that like button, hit subscribe.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta subscribe, please.
That's right. To Los, thank you for fighting through adversity, buddy, and fucking battling the elements.
Anytime, team player.
Four-fingered
Like I
Los.
said, it means a lot. And then Ledoux, as always, thanks for co-hosting, baby.
Appreciate you
Nice
having
to
me
have
on.
you. Yeah, hopefully we'll have you again soon.
Absolutely.
And that's going to wrap it up for us here tonight, boys. Happy watching. Talk to you soon.